It's finger-lickin' good. Perhaps we all have the same thing in mind when we hear this slogan. It's none other than the well-known American fast food chain, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or also known as KFC. Who doesn't love some Colonel Sanders and his southern accent talking about dem chickens? There are a lot of fast food chains that serve fried chicken, and of course each one of them has its own uniqueness. But come on, let's admit it, KFC still hits differently. And we probably choose it over and over again whenever we crave for the finest fried chicken. There's no doubt in that, as it remains as the comfort food of millions of people around the world. It's because they stay true to its tagline. It's crispy, salty, savory, and very, very tasty. Truly finger-lickin' good. Of course, this is because of their 11 herbs and spices that they brag about. However, there's this one ingredient they use that they did not tell you about. That is, KFC uses MSG. I know, I'm just as surprised as you are. Hi everyone, welcome to Food Mystic. Today, I'm going to talk about the secret ingredient that KFC has been using in cooking its well-loved fried chicken. Now, if you find this video interesting, please go ahead and smash the like button. And more importantly, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Without further ado, let's get started and uncover more about this, although not anymore, secret ingredient. Before anything else, let's first know more about KFC. It was Harland David Sanders, well revered as Colonel Sanders, who founded KFC in 1952. But what's interesting about it is that he began his life far away from the kitchen. He spent years of his life doing everything except cooking. After years of misfortunes and failures, he decided to take the biggest risk in his career. In 1950, he finalized the original recipe of his Southern-style fried chicken using 11 secret and unique herbs and spices, which he called the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Would you believe that his recipe was rejected 1,009 times before anyone accepted it? I could imagine his immense joy and relief when he finally opened the first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise in Salt Lake City, Utah in 1952, with his business partner Pete Harmon. Together, their business laid its first egg and their first chicken franchise was born. A decade later, KFC already had 600 franchise outlets in the United States and Canada, making it the largest fast food operation in the United States. The first overseas franchise was established in the United Kingdom in May 1965. As of 2022, KFC has more than 25,000 restaurants in over 145 countries and territories around the world. 6 decades later, it's not only captured the taste buds of the Americans, but the people from all over the world too. However, last September 2022, KFC received criticisms and major social media backlash as its secret ingredient was revealed to the public. This started when a KFC customer, a New Zealand woman, shared her unbelievable discovery on a packet of KFC seasoning. She shared a photo of a Colonel Sanders recipe seasoning pouch, which says it is exclusively for use in the KFC system. When you take a closer look at the packet, you'll see the main ingredient in the famous seasoning is monosodium glutamate, which we all know as MSG, followed by herbs and spices, salt, and garlic powder. Of course, her post propelled a heated reaction, with many people as bewildered as her to see MSG included in the ingredients of KFC seasoning. This has been confirmed on KFC's website. They stated that some of our food does contain MSG, but rest assured, it's only present at levels that are safe for the general population. It's a recognized flavor enhancer that also occurs naturally in foods such as meat, fish, milk, vegetables, fruits, and cheese. Well, this may not be new to some, especially if you're all familiar with the Chicago Tribune KFC tale. In August 2016, they attempted to recreate KFC's signature fried chicken. It took them several batches before they arrived with a surprising discovery. After multiple batches, it still wasn't the same. And when they were very close to replicating the Colonel's secret recipe, on a whim, a reporter grabbed a container of the MSG flavor enhancer accent in the test kitchen and sprinkled it on top of the chicken. What happened next left them really astonished. According to the paper, their test chicken was virtually indistinguishable from the bucket of chicken they bought at KFC. Hence, a KFC spokesperson reportedly confirmed that they do use MSG in their original chicken recipe. You may be wondering now what's really the issue behind MSG. Why did a lot of people react negatively when they found out? Monosodium glutamate is a known flavor enhancer that is derived from L-glutamic acid, which is often added to restaurant foods, canned vegetables, soups, deli meats, and other foods. It is a white, odorless, crystalline powder, known as E621 in the food industry. It's produced by fermenting carb sources like sugar beet, sugarcane, and molasses. Over the years, MSG has been stigmatized as dangerous to our health. The issue may have stemmed from the letter sent by a Chinese-American physician to the New England Journal of Medicine in 1968. The physician stated that he experienced palpitations and numbness in his neck, back, and arms after eating Chinese food. It was dubbed as the Chinese restaurant syndrome by the New England Journal of Medicine, but is now outdated, and people use the term MSG symptom complex instead. Since then, more people have proposed and reported different reasons why MSG is harmful to human health. Some of the alleged claims are: first, MSG can cause brain damage, which may have emanated from a study in 1969 that investigated the effect of injecting large doses of MSG into newborn mice. It was noted in this research that MSG caused neuronal cell death in several areas of the developing brain. However, this study does not provide enough evidence to support the claim, as it's impossible to compare the effects of injecting large amounts of MSG into newborn mice with the effects of small amounts of MSG from food that humans are ingesting into their gastrointestinal tract. Another claim is that MSG can trigger headaches, as many people say they experience one after eating foods containing MSG. However, a 2016 review about the International Classification of Headache Disorders stated that there is no evidence to support a link between MSG consumption and headaches. It was previously included in the International Headache Society's list of headache triggers, but was then removed in 2018. Additionally, some people have reported having asthma attacks after eating MSG. A 1987 study titled Monosodium L-Glutamate-Induced Asthma seemed to support this claim, as 40% of the 32 people who were given large doses of MSG later experienced an asthma episode. However, more recent studies debunked this, as a 2012 study have found no correlation between asthma and MSG consumption in children and adults. Plus, studies involving really high doses of MSG may not be reliable and applicable in a real-life setting. This makes sense as MSG is normally used as an additive only. Therefore, only small amounts of it are used. One more reason why many people avoid MSG, and I think this is a controversial one, is because historically, it's believed that MSG consumption puts you at risk for cancer. But here's some good news. A 2017 systematic review about the effects of monosodium glutamate on human health stated that since the 1960s, there have been no studies to confirm this claim. So, is MSG really bad for you? The answer is no. But a lot of people think it's harmful because of the bad reputation it got from the letter written to the New England Journal of Medicine. Fact check, guys. The US Food and Drug Administration has classified MSG as a food ingredient that's generally recognized as safe. Not only that, even global food regulating bodies like the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization (FAO) and the World Health Organization (WHO) agree. Additionally, a 2019 review concluded that most of the reported negative side effects of MSG are poorly informative, as they're based on excessive dosing that does not meet with levels normally consumed in food products. Plus, a small 2014 study found out that MSG might even help us feel fuller. People were divided into two groups. One received soup with MSG, while the other had plain soup. After consuming their lunch, the MSG group ate significantly less than the non-MSG group, but reported feeling just as satisfied by their food. I don't know about you, but I'm certain this is how we all feel after having our favorite fried chicken from KFC. MSG may seem as a taboo in most countries, but in Asia, it's considered a staple that is mostly used in every dish prepared in the household. In 1908, Professor Ikeda discovered that glutamate could be isolated from sea kelp and turned into a powder which resulted in monosodium glutamate MSG seasoning, called Ajinomoto, which became popular in 1909. It was first marketed to upper-class housewives in Japan as a nutritious and essential ingredient to modern living. Meanwhile, it had an opposite path to popularity in Taiwan. Street vendors readily adopted MSG, and they would often proudly display the Ajinomoto tin on their food carts. Hence, most people were influenced and it became accessible to people of all status, and not only limited to the rich as it was in Japan. In 1918, Ajinomoto began selling MSG in China after gaining a base in Japan and Taiwan. However, some Chinese saw it as a symbol of Japanese imperialism. Hence, a Chinese competitor, Tianchu Heavenly Kitchen, stepped in and began making MSG seasoning, proclaiming itself as the national brand. Tianchu also offered a vegetarian option called Buddha's Hand, which is intended for the country's Buddhist population. I must say that was a very smart move, especially since Buddhism is prevalent in China. Now, mainland China is the world's largest MSG producer and consumer. The main reason why Asian countries continue to use it despite the stigma that is stuck with it is because it enhances the flavor of food in a way that can't be achieved with just salt and pepper. It taps into our fifth basic taste, umami. Umami is the strong, meaty, and savory flavor that lingers longer on our taste buds than other flavors. We can't blame Colonel Sanders for including this in his secret recipe. It totally elevated the normal fried chicken recipe. Plus, MSG works best in meat, fish, seafood, vegetable, egg dishes, and poultry. Hence the irresistible taste of Kentucky Fried Chicken. While MSG doesn't deserve the bad reputation it has, its use and effects is still something that is constantly debated until now. Hence, we must remain responsible for our own health by being cautious of our food intake, and knowing how the food was prepared, what ingredients were used, and ultimately, how it reacts with our bodies physically, physiologically, and mentally. However, MSG's vital role in Kentucky Fried Chicken's undeniably mouth-watering and enticing flavor is something we can't deny. Just like what they say, everything is good, but in moderation. What about you? Would you still buy fried chicken from KFC despite its MSG content? We'd love to know that in the comments below. Be sure to turn on all notifications by hitting that bell icon, and maybe we would uncover more secret ingredients in the future. This is Food Mystic, your #1 source of interesting food chronicles. Until next time.